Okay. Here we go. Stories. Huh?
Christ, Ethan, you're in here again? You missed dinner. Mom and Dad are pissed. They've been looking all over the place.
Get out of here, Travis. Leave me alone.
Hey, Ma, he's in here. Honey, be careful with that lamp.
Damn, the hell's wrong with your kid? Painting on walls, writing his stories. I mean, what the fuck?
Ethan! For God's sake. You missed dinner!
I'm sorry. I've been working on a story all day. How long have I been out
The
here?
Adventures of Paul Prospero, supernatural detective. Where do you get this stuff?
Wait, what?
Pop,
I'm Paul
Would you
Prospero.
get Travis out of here, please?
He draws pictures on walls. What the hell is that?
Chad, shut up.
You got yourself a faggot for a Sundale.
Travis, let's go. Come on.
Faggot! Ethan, you're a fucking faggot!
Travis, stop it!
Shit! Shit!
Everyone, go! Get out!
Get out! The smoke, it's toxic.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! What do we do? What do we do?
Huh?
I wrote about you, but I don't know if I created you.
You made me real.
I can't go yet. I have to finish my story about you. I wrote stories about everyone.
I know you did. But my story's done. And it's a fine story.
I can let go?
You can let go.
What happens then?
Another story, kid. What else?
So, this whole thing was just Ethan trying to come to terms with his own death. That was needlessly elaborate. I'm sorry, but I'm just I kind of find it difficult to reconcile the entire game that I've been playing with that ending. You know, if that's how this ends, what the hell was the point of any of the stuff I did? And hang on, let me think about this a little. There is a stage in mental development where, and it mainly is in childhood, and you're supposed to grow out of it, but there was a stage in developmental psychology where you have a more difficult time thinking about other people as opposed to yourself. So this was kind of like okay, at first glance I wasn't a huge fan of this ending, but now I'm kind of starting to see it. The last thing he knew was Travis and his uncle giving him all sorts of shit for his writing. His father and his grandfather were the only people who defended him, so looking at how all of this went, that was how everything happened with the Sleeper storyline. His father and his grandfather protected him. Chad tried to seal him in the crypt, and Travis is just trying to kill him. So just as much as this was him coming to terms with his own mortality, it was also the only way he could really view the fact that all these people were gone now. Like, it was looking at his death from his own perspective, that all of these people were leaving him, and his final perceptions of them were what he carried with him into the Sleeper storyline. And the Sleeper was just something that was completely unknown. Just like death was to him. He didn't understand what was going on. He didn't understand what was about to happen to him. But he knew it was something to be afraid of, and he knew that it was something that was going to take his family away from him. And he died in the room where he was working on the story about Paul Prospero, the player character. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually kind of easy to forget your guy's name. But that was the one comfort he had left. So that was how it was gonna go with this sleeper storyline. Paul Prospero would investigate all of this and come find him and come save him. But, you know, he couldn't save him because everyone's gonna die. But at least Paul Prospero helped him accept it. Well, this is one of those storylines that's like, it's good, but it's buried under a lot of symbolism. Like, I would totally understand if people didn't like the ending after everything they just went through. And, you know, just wrote it off from that. But, well, there's something there. Alright. So, I do have to say, there's a thing called a side quest. They're usually optional. Looking at a lot of this stuff, there was no reason I had to find everything just to end the game. You know? Let's take a look at the door portal puzzle in the one house in the village. That thing was so obscure that you're not gonna solve it on your first try. You're not even gonna know what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm not even kidding. I had to look it up. I had the answers on my phone right in front of me. But, I mean, more than that. Travis's death relied on finding a random rock next to a tree stump and putting it in the right pile of debris. None of which was actually clear. And it was easy and possible to just walk right past it. And actually, even more than that, the traps. The puzzle with the traps. That was ridiculously obscure. You know, you've got this path that, you know, you gotta go down. Let's just walk around in circles randomly and hope we find something. When that's your puzzle, you have to be prepared for people to just not want to do it. You know, that was something that should have been optional. A lot of this stuff should have been optional. But instead, everything was mandatory. And as a result, the charm was really lost at a lot of these scenes. Honestly, I had to play through the game twice in order to get everything. And I probably would have been a bit happier about it if I wasn't being forced to do it. Actually, I'm gonna record a video. There was this game years ago called The Path, and I feel like that did it a lot better. I'm gonna record a video about it just to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. But basically, it was based on Little Red Riding Hood. You have the path that leads to Grandma's house. You have to stay on the path to get there. And the game specifically tells you, stay on the path. If you stay on the path and you get to Grandmother's house without wandering around and exploring and finding stuff, you get a message saying, failed. And, you know, the actual time in Grandma's house is like no payoff. You know, the atmosphere in the game was, you know, there was a lot of atmosphere to it, and then you get to Grandma's house and there's no payoff. And, you know, the fact that that's how it is, you know, it kind of makes it a lot more... You have a lot more of an incentive to actually finish the game and actually go out and explore and find everything, because you're not being forced to. You're doing it of your own free will, because the alternative's a really unsatisfying ending. I kind of feel like that's what this game needed. It needed multiple endings. It needed something that was just like completely unsatisfying and like in no way a decent payoff for everything you've been doing, so that you would actually say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go find stuff. I'll say flat out, before I got to the ending and got warped back to the beginning, I was planning on going back and finding things, because I knew there was a lot of stuff I missed. I knew how to handle the death investigations now. I knew how to... Like, I had a better idea of what to do with the house. I might have actually found the astronaut on my own. All that stuff probably would have happened. But instead, because I was forced through it, I'm done with the game now. I don't really want to play it again. You know, long story short here, there's a right way and a wrong way to encourage people to play your game, and I kind of feel like this did it the wrong way. In a way that kind of made playing through the game and finding everything a lot less satisfying than it should have been. Anyway, this was The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. You can find it on Steam. I got it with the Steam sales in December, so not completely sure what the price is right now. But it's definitely a game worth checking out. If you got your opinions about what that ending means, I'd love to hear it. So, this is Nitesh. Keep enjoying the videos, and subscribe to help the channel and see more.